would it be possible to speak to the sister on that ward, please? Yes. Yes, I see. Thank you. Oh, sorry, we're closed.
Mrs. Masters?
Oh, hello.
I was sorry to hear about your bit of bother yesterday.
Yes.
How is your granddaughter?
I'm just on my way to the hospital to find out now, as a matter of fact.
Look, I really won't keep you, Mrs. Masters. I just need to know one thing. Has the sale of your shares actually gone through yet?
I haven't signed anything yet, no, but it's purely a formality. He said he'll take them.
Can I ask you just one more time, then, to think again and sell those shares to me?
I've been through this twice already, Mr. Jones. Once with you and once with that Mr. Murphy. Now, I've promised Ronnie Wright first refusal on those shares, and a promise is a promise.
Yeah, but when you made that promise, I don't think you were fully aware of just what's been going on around here.
Mr. Jones, please. I'm at my wit's end, I really am. I've just lost my husband, my granddaughter's in hospital, and here you are badgering me about a few wretched shares in what is, after all, a very unimportant little football club. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to lock up and go and visit my sick grandchild.
Would you like a lift to the hospital?
I have my own car, thanks.
Right.
Having a bit of trouble, are we, Matt?
What are you doing here? Thought you were barred from this place.
Oh, yeah, but that was before, wasn't it?
For what?
Oh, before we was instrumental in getting all that vital information from Rasputin about Ivor Chalmers. He was so grateful, he lifted the van there and then.
It's funny. You never mentioned anything to me about it.
Yeah, well, he probably didn't want to make a fuss about it, know what I mean? You needing a bit of help, are you?
You telling me you're in a position to offer me any?
Yeah, well, I was what you might call on the strength of this place up to a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, Mr. Cassidy often turned to me when something went wrong with the machines.
Are you telling me that you are capable of fixing this thing?
Of course. Do you want me to have a go?
Be my guest.
Right. If I did, would it count in my favour, do you think, with what I'm going to ask you next?
That depends on what you're going to ask me, doesn't it?
Yeah. You want it fixing, don't you?
Right.
Right. Just on the on here. Oh, hello, is that Danny in maintenance? Danny, it's Wurzel here. Look, number 95's on the blink again. You couldn't pop up and have a look at it, could you? Ah, thanks a lot, Danny. Nothing to it. Thank you.
Imagine me not knowing you had hidden talents like that.
Yeah. About the other thing I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
You're not by any chance looking for someone to help out around here, are you? On a strictly part-time basis?
We had somebody like that in trouble a couple of days ago, but we had to get rid of him because he kept mugging the customers.
Oh, yeah, Matt, you know that wasn't my fault.
Look, I am not the manager of this place. I'm just helping out for a couple of days until the chairman finds a replacement for Mr. Cassidy.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't be too hard, should it? Just tend to pop along to the zoo and look for the signs marked the Chimps Tea Party.
The point is that I don't do the hiring and firing around here, so if you want your old job back, ask the chairman.
I have a funny feeling you won't really warm to that idea.
You know something? I have the same funny feeling.
Any luck?
Nah, it's just like going to see Rasputin about it.
Oh, well, you can't win them all, mate, can you?
It seems to me these days I can't win any of them. What's Insta thing?
I wonder what he wants.
I'll ask him, hang on. Oi, you looking for somebody?
Yeah.
What for?
I just wondered if you heard anything, that's all.
Well, I rang the hospital and they told me she was comfortable.
Yeah, I rang as well. So what do you think then?
Dunno.
No trouble.
No, Mac, we were just talking.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. Talk to you for a minute. It's your dad on the phone. He wants me to remind you to be home early. Seems that you have a pressing engagement with a police sergeant.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You can come through now, Mrs. Masters.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Gran.
Charlotte. Oh, lovey. How are you feeling now?
A bit soggy between the ears.
How's she really, sister?
Well, she's a very lucky young lady. Shaken up, of course. Apart from that, she'll be fine.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, Gran.
It's just I've been that worried about you. Your poor head.
Hey, so what's going on now then?
Dunno.
What do you mean you don't know?
They're dropping the charges, aren't they?
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
fantastic.
it.
That's right, isn't it?
Why?
Well, that's the bit we don't know, innit? Yeah. What exactly is going on there, Dad?
Well, what it amounts to is they aren't proceeding any further with the matter. At least as far as you lot are concerned.
Yeah, great.
Why?
Well, apparently they got a phone call this morning from the girl's grandmother up at the hospital. The girl came round. She cleared you lot completely.
Yeah, in fact, according to the sergeant in there, if you lot hadn't had to go the way you did, it could have been much worse.
Yeah, well, I did tell you that, didn't I, Dad? That was what happened. Don't really know why he didn't believe me.
Right then, can I offer anybody a lift back into town?
Yeah, you can drop us off at outer space, actually, Dad.
You lot weren't included in the invitation.
I could do with one, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Right then.
See you later, Billy.
Yeah, see you, Dad.
See you, Dad.
Keith out of trouble.
Oh, Dad, me?
Yeah, I wonder if she'll be back yet then. Oh, Mrs. Masters from the hospital.
Well, I reckon there's only one way to find out, don't you? So come on then.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Mrs. Masters.
Oh, hello, Boxer. George.
Just want to say thanks clearly to the police.
Oh, no, it was the least I could do. In fact, it's me owes you an apology. Especially after what Charlotte said you did for her yesterday.
Well, how is she now?
I'll tell you what, why don't you go through and ask her yourselves?
She's back then?
Well, if she isn't, there's somebody very like her sitting in there. Come on through.
Hey!
Hey, Charlie.
Must confess I'm rather baffled, Ronnie.
Baffled, what?
Why the delay in getting these shares of Mrs. Masters transferred?
Oh, but you must have read about all the trouble she's had at the shop. You know, I didn't want to bother her right now.
That's the wrong way of looking at it, surely, Ronnie. I mean, you wouldn't be bothering her. You'd be doing her a favour.
What's the hurry? Just give me a word, the shares are mine. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, I'm not worried, Ronnie. No. I mean, if the whole thing should fall through, I shan't be worried. No, you're the one who should be worried. After all, if anything should go wrong, you're the one who's going to miss out on a fat little profit from the deal. Not to mention finding yourself left with a football club you really can't afford to finance.
Right. I'll get on to her first thing tomorrow morning.
Ronnie. Now, I didn't make the money I've made by putting off until tomorrow things that could be done today.
Look, I've just told you how things are.
And now I'm telling you how things are, Ronnie. I want this little lot sorting out today, if not sooner. Now, what I want you to do is to get a stock transfer form from out of that drawer and get over there now and get her to sign it.
But I don't even know if she'd be in at the moment.
You must have seen one of these before, Ronnie. They're called telephones. Wonderful things.
Oh, Beryl, get me Mrs. Masters, will you?
Oh, look, I've got a better one. How does an elephant ask for a bun?
I don't know.
Could I have a bun, please?
Get that for me, somebody, would you, please?
I'll go. A cracker.
Masters Records. Yeah, who wants the place? Oh, yeah, hang on, I'll get him.
Ah, Ronnie Wright.
Yeah.
OK.
That's not the Ronnie Wright, is it?
Yeah, the one and only.
Oh, good old Ronnie. There's nothing wrong with him that a nice cup of arsenic wouldn't cure.
Ronnie's all right.
Oh, yeah, about as trustworthy he is as a fox in a hen house.
What's wrong with him then?
He's a rat, that's what's wrong with him.
What's he ever done to you then, eh?
Nothing to me, but look what he's done to the United Football Club.
Why? Because he changed his mind about that merger thing with United?
Nah, because he double-crossed us, that's why.
Yeah, the same way as double-crossing Charlotte's grandma about this share she's selling him.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. What double cross is this? Look, Gran's only selling him the shares because he was an old mate at my granddad's.
Yeah, but who's he going to sell them to once he gets his hands on them? That's the question, isn't it?
Nobody. He wants them for himself.
That's what he told your gran, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't he?
Tell you what, Ronnie, why don't you bring the form round here and I'll sign it? Straight away, if you like. Yeah. OK, bye. Hello, can I help you?
I was just wondering how she was. That girl that got hurt yesterday.
Oh, she's back home now. No real harm done, apparently.
Good.
Why, you a friend of hers?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Just heard about it, like. Wondered how she was, that was all.
Well, would you like to come through and say hello?
Oh, no, no thanks. I've got to get going. See ya.
Bye.
You don't fancy coming over there with me, then?
Now, that wouldn't be very bright, would it, Ronnie?
No, I suppose not. Right, then, well, I'll see you later.
I'll be here.
Come on.
What's we got now?
Now then, who wants a refill?
No, thanks.
Oh, well, I certainly do.
What did you want, Gran? Mr. Wright?
Oh, he just wants to pop round for a few minutes, finish up a spot of business.
It wouldn't be about Grandad's shares, would it?
Well, yes.
Did he mention a Mr. Ivor Chalmers?
Ivor Chalmers, who's he?
Oh, he's never said anything about him to you then?
No, I don't think so. Why should he have?
Just thought he might have. Especially if what Boxer's just told me happens to be the truth.
Oh. That could be him now.
Ah. Mrs. Masters, hello.
How are you, Ronnie?
Oh, can't grumble, you know, can't grumble. No one would listen if I did. Right, well, I've got the share transfer form with me, so if you could...
Come through, won't you?
Oh, right, yes.
Take no notice of this lot. They've come to see how Charlotte is.
Oh, I see. Oh, and how are we then, Charlotte?
Right, thanks.
Oh, good, good, great. Right then, Mrs. M, if you could just sign there, you see what I've put pencil mark.
Oh, surely there's a mistake here, Ronnie.
Mistake?
Well, according to this, I'm signing the shares to you.
Yes, that's right.
I'm sorry, wouldn't it be simpler if I assigned them straight over to him?
Him?
Mr. Ivor Chalmers. Well, that's who they're really going to be assigned to, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The name means nothing to you.
Chalmers? Chalmers? No, I can't say it does, no.
Runs a chain of supermarkets?
Does he?
Yeah, and a flashy car.
Yeah, the one you were sitting in with him yesterday.
He must have got me mixed up with someone else.
White Mercedes? We saw you, all of us, didn't we?
Yes.
We all
saw you. Look, I don't know what this is about. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to stand here and take this rubbish from you lot. Now, look here, Mrs. Emma, are you or are you not going to sign this form?
Do you know, Ronnie, I don't believe I am now.
But you gave me a word you'd sell those shares to me.
And I'm still prepared to do that, provided I have your word that you won't then resell them to this Mr. Chalmers.
But it's a matter of what's best for Dunmore Town. Look, when those shares are in my name, I may have to sell some of them to whoever I need.
And as long as they're in my name, I can sell them to whomever I like. And after what I've just heard, that certainly isn't going to be you.
Ah. You've been got at, haven't you?
Got at?
By that failed pop star, Rasputin Jones.
Mr. Jones has made me an offer for
Yes,
the
I
shares,
thought
yes.
so. Look, Mrs. M, this is Ronnie Wright you're talking to. You can trust me, you know.
That's what I used to think.
I'm surprised at you. I really am. Conspiring with a load of juveniles.
Oh, well, who cares? I mean, who cares, for God's sake? What's so flaming wonderful about running a football club anyway? Season after season, cost you a packet. And for what, eh? The doubtful flaming privilege of sitting up in the director's box week after week to be slagged by every armchair expert who can find a couple of quid to come in. And let us face it, quite a few more who don't even bother to do that.
Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
No convincing required, mate. I tell you, as far as I'm concerned, they can keep it. I do not give a monkeys if I never walk on a football ground again. Now, they did me a favour giving me the elbow. I'm glad it happened. Yeah, come in. Oh, no, please, look, for the last time, you lot are banned from this place. B-A-N-D, banned.
Well, we've something to tell you.
Yeah, wait till you hear what we've got to tell you, Rasp.
Rasp? Right, that is definitely it. Ow!
But we've got a message from Mrs. Masters.
About the shares she's selling. What about the shares?
Well, the way I heard it, and let this not correct me if I heard it wrong, but if you still wanted them shares, you can have them.
Now, what are you on about, my son? The shares are already promised to Ronnie Wright.
Yeah, well, they've just been unpromised.
Since when?
Since Mrs. Masters found out who they were really going to.
Well, they're your friends. What do you think?
I think you should get on the blower straight away and tell her what you've just been telling me about how you're glad to be out of football.
I'm warning you. If this is your idea of a sick joke, I'm going to kill you. Every single last one of you.
It's not a joke, Rasp.
You know what you are, don't you, Ronnie? You're an idiot.
Oh, look here, Ivor. I won't be spoken to like that. Not on my own boardroom.
I'm sorry. No, I'll take that back. Actually, you aren't an idiot.
Right.
No, to call you an idiot would be an insult to idiots. Actually, you are a cretin. If you'd clinched the deal right away, the shares would have been in your hands and there wouldn't have been a blind thing that silly old bat could have done about it.
Well, I do feel a certain responsibility for what's happened, yes. So, look, I'll tell you what. If you still want to join the board, I'm prepared to sell you some of my own shares.
Ronnie, I don't want to join the board. I want to be the board. Otherwise, I don't want to know.
But Ivor, just a minute. Just a minute.
Hello, Ivor. Leaving the party early, are we?
Jones,
No. Now, don't thank me, because I tell you what, it was a pleasure, sir.
Now, look here, Jones. I've told you before. This room is for board members only.
How true, Ron. Still, I'm sure we can make an exception in my case, seeing as I happen to be the majority shareholder in this football club.
What do you want about?
55%, that's what I'm on about, Ronnie. When Mrs. Masters' shares come through and I put them alongside the ones I've been quietly mopping up over the past couple of weeks. So, let's talk about your troubles, shall we?
What troubles?
Your financial troubles. All those outstanding debts you can't meet anymore now that slimy Ivor's just slipped out. And then we'll talk about the other thing.
What other thing?
How soon we can convene a special meeting to get the chairman sworn in.
But I'm the chairman.
No, Ronnie. Ex-chairman. Hello? Yep. Oh, hello, George. How are you? Avoiding you? You journalists are paranoid, mate. Thought you knew me better than that. Yeah. Yeah, the rumours are true. Well, of course I'll give you a quote. You can say that,
I'm thrilled and happy. After long and arduous negotiations, terms have been agreed and the merger is definitely on. Okay?
Listen, you lot. Now listen, right? Now that we know that the two clubs are definitely going to be joined, what we got to decide is just where we fit in, innit?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, there's a junior supporters club for starters.
Yeah, but we've already got a sports club down at town.
Yeah, but that's run by adults, isn't it?
Yeah, by adults, for adults. All they're into is snooker and boozing.
Right.
They're not going to want to know our age group.
Well, what we want is the sort of setup we used to have down at United. We're on committee and everything.
Right. See, we've got all the stuff and all that. We just need a room to put it all in.
Where'd we find that? Well, down at the ground, I'd say.
Yeah, but will they let us have anything down there?
Well, we're not going to know until we ask, are we?
So we're going to ask then, Disputing Jones? Well, I think we stand a better chance with somebody else I can think of.
Hi, Mac.
Why don't you lot get yourself some sleeping bags and move down here permanently?
We want to ask you a favour, Mac.
What kind of favour?
Well, we need a room down at the club.
Yeah, we want to reform the old junior supporters club.
Yeah, what do you think, Mac?
I think that is a great idea. Anything that keeps you off the streets out of mischief has got to be a good idea. How would I know?
How do you mean?
What are you asking me for?
You're the manager, aren't you?
Who told you I was?
Oh, you're not leaving, Mac.
Come in. Come in, gather around and listen. Shut the door. Now, I earn my living managing football teams. And just in case you haven't noticed, the only football team around here at the moment already has a manager, a man called Mr. Sidney Gregg.
Yeah, but just because he was the manager of town doesn't mean to say he's automatically the manager of the new club.
And he's rubbish, Sid Greg. Town never got anywhere with him in charge.
Has it ever occurred to you it might not just be all his fault?
Dunno. What do you mean?
What I mean is that Sid Gregg is only a football manager. He is not Bob Paisley, Brian Clough, Superman 3 all rolled into one, which means that he cannot make a Kenny Dalglish out of a pig's ear. He has to put up with the players that he has got.
He's still not in your class as a manager.
That's not the point, Johnny.
Of course it is, Mac. When you were picking the United team, you always said it was the best player that got picked. So if it applies to players, it's got to apply to managers, right?
Yeah. Right. Wrong again. Look, Sid Gregg's in his 50s. If I'm out of work, I've got every confidence it won't be for long. If he's out of a job, where's he going to get another one? I'll tell you something. If they want to throw him out in the street and put him on the dole queue, then they can get on with it. But just don't ask me to have anything to do with it. That's all.
Everywhere you go, everything you see, someone say you know it's a tragedy. Find another place, 'cause you can't play here. Don't want any lips at her. You know it's gonna be alright if we stick together. We're gonna have a fine, fine time if we stick together. No more mindless empty days. You know it's gonna be alright if we stick together. We're gonna have a fine, fine time if we stick together. No more mindless empty days.